We're getting ready to head down to the coast for Cruisin the Coast tomorrow on the Biloxi Green. Joining us now, Mike Love with the Beach Boys, founding member of the Beach Boys. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for coming on MidDays.
Good morning, Gerard. Thanks for having me on the program.
Yes, sir.
Letting the folks know that we're going to be at the Beau Rivage Thursday and Friday.
Yes, sir. That is just awesome. Is this your first time to Mississippi?
Oh, heavens, no. We've been coming down to Biloxi for many, many years, even before they built the Beau Rivage. But, that was the Coliseum.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great. And I know that we're all looking forward to that. And what a great combination. You guys performing at the Beau Rivage and Cruisin the Coast. Don't get any better than that. Mike, you've been performing now. Are you in the 6th decade or about to be?
We're celebrating our 60th year.
Yeah.
Now we have got we've got an album called Sounds of Summer, and there's a 2 CD companion to it. So there's a 3 CD box set there they put out. Capitol Records did, and it's celebrating those 60 years of the Sounds of Summer. So that's what we're all about right now.
That is awesome. Do you still enjoy performing live, Mike?
I do. The audience still loves our songs, and particularly with Cruisin the Coast weekend, we did a whole lot of car songs like 409 and Shut Down and I Get Around and Fun, and all kinds of, songs having to do with cruising and cars. And so it's really, this is the time of year we love to come down to the coast.
Yeah, and you did mention Custom Machine, my favorite lyrics, by the way.
The Custom Machine, that's right, and Car Crazy Cutie.
Well, Americans definitely have had a love affair with their motor vehicles, with their cars for a long time. And what better music to listen to when you're cruising in your car, especially with the top down, right, than good old Beach Boys music.
That's correct. We're probably responsible with some of these up-tempo songs for a lot of ticketing.
That's probably right. Well, I got to ask you, you've produced, I seem to recall from your discography, 29 studio albums. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I lost count. But anyway, it's really a miracle, and we're blessed to be able to do what used to be a family hobby, but my cousin Brian and I made up some songs that people still love to hear, and we love performing them for those people.
How do you decide what to include in the set list, Mike, when you got that much content out there?
That's true, but there are some that were big hits, and they're obvious ones. Good Vibrations, Kokomo, and I Get Around, and Fun, and Help Me Rhonda, and California Girls. So there's some songs there that we're going to do.
Yeah. And Mike, you make a point. It's fun music. It's just fun music. It makes you feel good.
It is, and the subject matter is a little bit unique because we start out with cars and surfing and stuff, and get moved on from there to our Pet Sounds album with God Only Knows and Wouldn't It Be Nice, and we still do those songs to this day, and it's a great thing.
So I got to ask you this, Mike. Good Vibrations, a masterpiece, no doubt, absolute masterpiece. So I recall reading a story about how revelational it was, how innovative it was, that the technology, the sound and the music technology available in those days wasn't certainly what it is today, but it was a remarkable accomplishment, how you guys layered all that in and tracked all that in. Anything you can tell us about that?
Well, my cousin Brian did several different sessions at several different studios for about a year's time before we came up with a composite that became the single Good Vibrations. And once he had that, I wrote the words on the way to the studio when we did the vocals that day, and I dictated the poem, which is the words to Good Vibrations, to my then wife while I was driving the studio.
Oh, man.
I said, take this down. And so, it had the spontaneity of lyrics combined with the track that had been done in several different versions and several different sections. So it was kind of a costly thing for its time, but it worked out. It went to #1, and we were voted the #1 group in Great Britain, #2 being the Beatles in 1966.
Wow, that is so awesome. Well, I still enjoy the song and many of your songs, of course, to this day. And that's the other thing, Mike. Your song really is, it really doesn't know a particular generation. All generations enjoy it. You got to be proud about that.
That's right. In fact, our friend John Stamos, who's Uncle Jesse on Full House, put us on Full House because he loves the Beach Boys, and we get recognized by younger generations who's grown up watching that Full House and those reruns on TV, which is a very, very popular show.
That's awesome.
So we've been on lots of soundtracks of movies, and we've been very fortunate.
That is awesome. Now, you wrote a book, Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy, released back in 2016. What inspired you to put that down in writing?
Well, there have been a lot of opinions and second guessings and people that weren't actually there writing stuff about the Beach Boys, and so I thought I'd better do my part and say it like it was as far as the person who was there and involved in the thick of things back there in the 60s and 70s and 80s and all that. So it's just a matter of clarifying certain things and putting them in, putting out the truth of the situation rather than just relying on secondhand knowledge.
Yeah, and sometimes people just like to promote a story, even if it's not true, for the clicks and their own benefit. And so you came in and just said, I'm going to clarify and tell you what really happened.
That's right. That's what I did.
You had three very talented cousins. How did you guys get together and form this band?
Well, my mom was crazy about music. She was one of 8 kids. Another one of my grandma Wilson's kids was Murray Wilson, and my cousins Brian, Dennis, and Carl Wilson were my first cousins.
Yeah.
And we would get together originally at Christmas parties and birthday parties and Thanksgiving and stuff. Any special occasions, there was always music involved.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents had their music, and we had ours. Listening to the radio in the 50s, and with doo-wop and the Everly Brothers and Chuck Berry and Fats Domino and Jerry Lee Lewis and all that kind of stuff. And so we grew up in a family with. I had a grand piano, organ, and a harp in my living room. So it was all about music, and so it just became that family tradition. Became a profession, fortunately for us, and so and we're still doing it to this day.
So awesome, and the harmony. So, did you figure out at some point when you were younger, Mike, that hey, our voices sound pretty good together here?
Yeah, we would harmonize. We'd take an Everly Brothers song, and they're of course 2-part harmonies, and we make it a 3-part or even a 4.
Wow!
And the 4 freshmen were a big influence on us. They did they're amazing singers and great harmonies and close 4-part harmonies. They call it modern harmony back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we took those influences, the blend of the Everly Brothers plus the harmonies of doo-wop and the 4 freshmen and stuff, and just church music. We would go to Wednesday night youth night and do songs, church-type songs, and then we'd sing Everly Brothers on the way back from that church night.
Wow, that is so awesome. Well, I just want you to know that your music has brought a lot of pleasure and happiness to a lot of people throughout the world, and we are blessed, and the world is a better place for what you guys have produced, and it lives on. It is classic, it is timeless, and it'll be around for a long, long time, that's for sure. Thank you, Mike, and thanks so much for coming on the program, and good luck. I know you're going to do a fantastic job entertaining the people at the Beau Rivage on the Gulf Coast. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Gerard, for having me on the program and getting the word out. Thursday and Friday night will be at the Beau Rivage.
It's going to be a great time. Thank you, Mike. We'll step aside from the Element Well Studios on Midday.